Hey guys, good morning. So the importance of having the right architect. So that was definitely a major pain point when I started down the path of wanting to build modular, is finding the right architect. Obviously, I'm not an architect, and you need an architect. But finding an architect that is A, interested in doing modular, and B, has done modular, at least at the time, was really difficult for me, and was definitely a mistake that I made with the architectural shop that I had hired. The architectural shop that I had hired said they had done modular, and being a trustworthy guy that I am, trusting guy that I am, kind of trusted them on that. And well, as we get into the project, come to find out they had never done modular. They had done some schematics, some design, even schematics, just some basic designs on what a potential modular building could look like. And so what happened is, we ended up paying kind of the dumb tax, because, and they learned, we all learned on our nickel, and the drawings weren't done to be modular friendly, and so it costs time, money and time, right? They all go together. One big takeaway is the drawings. They really need to be merged together between the modular plant and the what's going on the site, for the subcontractors to understand that. And that's something I can walk you guys through. But that was definitely a huge lesson learned. And so we went through a few architects to finally find the one that we have now, that has done modular with us, understands it, knows how to draw for it. And there's more, since we started on the first project, there's more and more architects that have done it and can help you, and I can help you kind of weed through that. But that's a big part of it, especially on the big projects. I mean, when I talk about the importance of an architect, it's really a big project. If you're starting out wanting to build one or two modular homes kind of part-time, you don't really need an architect for that. We can walk you through that. You can even use preset plans that we already have, that the factories can work with you on, and you can kind of hit the ground running. That's the advantage of modular, right? Is they have their in-house designers, structural, structural, because it's important to remember in residential construction, not multifamily, but if like on a one-off house, a civil a structural can stamp the drawings. You don't need to have an architectural stamp for you're building a one house, and even less on a modular, because you have to remember a modular is approved at the state level, built to the local code, but they're approved at the state level. And so having a preset design, which we can share with you, and work with a factory that we worked with in the past. You guys, if you want to do one or two houses on the side part-time, that is the beautiful thing about modular, right? You don't have to have this whole team of architects to do it, and also a full-blown general contractor to do it as well. But so architects are, especially on the larger projects, are crucial, and are one of the pillars, right, of making a project work. Unless you're an architect yourself, because on a large project, the apartment building that we built, modular apartment that we built, there's a lot of common area things that are happening above and beyond the modular that an architect, a local architect, needs to stamp, right? And that architect actually is stamping the overall project, and is supposed to be incorporating the modular drawings into their drawings. So that's really crucial. And I've seen many projects have a lot of issues because they didn't use the right architect. And you would think that even people that have been in construction 20 years, really professional, well-polished people wouldn't make that mistake, but they do as well. And especially when you do it the first time. When you do it the first time, again, modular's not rocket science. It really isn't. But it's like everything else. You got to do it once or twice to really be able to avoid the pitfalls. And that's also why I'm putting these videos together in this channel, and And this platform is to help you guys. Again, if you just want to start with building 1 or 2 houses on the side, and then grow it to taking over what you're doing today and growing a company around it, or if you're an experienced real estate developer, general contractor, architect, and you want to get up to speed on modular, because it is here to stay. It is going to become more and more a larger part of the industry. It has to. We don't have the labor issues of, I've been in the business 20 plus years. We've been talking to, it really became a big conversation say 10 15 years ago, and then the last 5 to 10 it's been dire. And I see it right now. I should do an update video on the ADU, the HVAC contractor that we have, because since it's a custom modular home ADU, and we're having to do we're finishing the upstairs on site, and we're doing a commission basement. There's a lot of HVAC work that he's doing on site, and so we have a local HVAC contractor, and it's one gentleman, sweetheart of a gentleman, he's probably in the 70s, by himself, doing most of the work. And when I talk to the owner of the company, she doesn't have the labor. And that old gentleman, when I talk to him, when he's retired, who's going to take over his job? So that's the issue, right? In that project, even though we build the majority of it in the factory, because it's custom, there's things we do on site. So it's a challenge to find local labor to come and finish projects and build them from scratch. That's why site build has gotten so expensive. And so that's why whoever you are in the industry, you have to get up to speed on modular, because it's going to become more and more a part of the industry and a part of the solution. And an architect is crucial, and an architect will always be a part, right? Even with AI, AI will have architectural tools that can come up with some drawings, some drafts, but you still need, at least I think for a while still. I'm not saying they'll, unfortunately, and it's a different topic for a different video. I'm not saying there'll never be a time where AI can do the architectural drawings from A to Z. But I think in the next, and again, I could be wrong, things are moving so quickly, but I would say in at least the next 10, 15 years, hopefully even longer than that, you're going to need a human architect that's using AI. We'll use AI as a tool, but to tweak it, right? To come up with the final drawings and to stamp it. I don't even know. I'm just thinking about this now. How long is it going to take jurisdictions to accept an AI stamp for a drawing? I don't know. That's an interesting topic to talk to about as well. But until that time, having an architect on the team on the larger projects is crucial, is important, and you make sure you have the right one. And I'm happy to help you through that and hire the right architect. I can make recommendations. I can. And that's the point of, again, me putting these channels together, is to steer you in the right direction so you're successful on the first project, right? And you're not another statistics, another story for people to point to about modular not working, right? Where it's not, in all these cases, it's not modular's fault that the deal didn't work, right? It's because people hadn't done it before, they had the wrong people on the team, they didn't do the right things, right? And then they walked away saying, because it's most humans, hard to blame ourselves for when things go bad. So it's much easier to blame modular. Oh yeah, the modular factory is just crap. Instead of coming, straight out and say, hey, I picked the wrong architect. The architect really screwed us on the deal, and we ran out of time and money, and that didn't help. And because of that, we weren't communicating properly with the factory. So we're blaming the factory when really we weren't communicating with them properly, which is really half the battle. So that's a big thing in construction, just simple communication. I see it every day, just a lack of communication in the business. A lot of things can be resolved and avoided if you just have the right communication. And I think that's probably true for everything else in life. But so happy to help you guys, through the architectural process as well. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, ask questions, and will give me things to dig in and go down rabbit holes. I'm happy to do that, and hopefully grow the platform. We can have live events. We have webinars, free webinars, weekly webinars. You guys can join and ask questions. Looking forward to it. All right, have a great day. See you.